Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today's stories are some terrifyingly real life stories that are bone chillingly terrifying. Prepare to shiver as we unearth terrifying tales of ghostly encounters, murderers, serial killers, and more. Bad dreams. Years ago, I stayed for some nights at a hotel in the New Forest, which is in a national park on the south coast of England. The hotel was a large former hunting lodge built sometime in the 19th century. I felt very uncomfortable in my room, and almost as there were others with me or someone watching me. I'm not the kind of person that is normally given to such feelings, but they were very strong and extremely uncomfortable. I was with a large group staying there, and speaking to others after the first night felt the same. The first night, it took me a long time to fall asleep, and for the first time in my entire adult life, I could not bring myself to turn out the lights before I went to bed. When I eventually fell asleep, I had the most vivid dreams that felt extremely real of being in a trench somewhere in the Great War and hearing the constant banging of explosions and of artillery pieces firing. I woke up feeling extremely distressed and with a cold sweat. There was a banging noise which I assume must have been some metal roofing not affixed properly, moving in the wind. I never felt anything like it since, and I never felt anything like it before. It felt so very real, and I was completely overwhelmed with so many emotions and utterly terrified. I couldn't get back to sleep. I felt like I was in the company of others. I felt like someone was near, or that feeling you get when you know people are looking at you, and I spent the rest of the night in a kind of daze. In the morning, I went downstairs for breakfast and saw a frame on the wall containing some photographs and a story about how the hotel was converted to a military hospital during World War I. I didn't know anything about this before I arrived and before that night. I also had not been reading anything about the war or had seen anything on television recently about it. I'm a practical and skeptical woman, but I don't know what to make of this experience. I spent the remainder of the day with one of my friends in another room. The oppressive atmosphere and general feeling of something wrong and frightening to me didn't lift, and my friend I stayed with was also afraid and was glad of me to stay with them in their room. The Watcher. My cousin and his family, wife and infant son, had lived in their house for about 5 years. His wife left home to drop the baby off at daycare before work but realized she had left her phone at home. Entering the house, she turned the corner into the hallway and nearly ran into the drop-down attic ladder, which was fully extended. They never used the attic as it was filled with loose insulation, and my cousin had left for our